Hey, what's up, everybody? Gonna do a classic rock reaction, man. This is Led Zeppelin, and Led Zeppelin, they are doing a live performance at the Whisky A Go-Go, January 5th, 1969. Looking forward to this, man. I've heard good things about this concert, and I've been trying my best to make the time to finally do it and be able to do a reaction. So, before I pop this off, man, I just want to give a shout out and a thanks to Finesse Muse. Thanks very much, Finesse. I appreciate the recommendation and providing a link. And Finesse has kind of like an introduction for us here, man. So let's read this. It's a little bit lengthy, but worth laying the foundation for. He says, "Hi Wayne, the Whisky A Go-Go show is only the second time Led Zeppelin was recorded playing live. When you listen to it, you can hear the club patrons in the background, almost like you're there enjoying cocktails. It's recorded the third night played at the Whisky on January 5th, 1969. The audience had never heard of Led Zeppelin, but some may have been there because of Jimmy Page and his Yardbirds fame. Notable for this bootleg, it's the only recording of them playing For Your Love from Jimmy's Yardbirds days." That'll be really interesting. This show was a full week before Led Zeppelin 1 hit the record stores. The whole band is on fire. Bonzo blows the roof off the place. All the while the band is under the weather and not feeling well, Jimmy fighting the flu. Alice Cooper, who was also unknown at the time, opened for them. Check out this quote from the MC of the show, Rodney Bingenheimer. Quote, "I was at the Whisky A Go-Go and it was Alice Cooper and Led Zeppelin and I emceed the show. I introduced them. I remember afterwards, backstage at the Whisky, Jimmy had a really bad case of the flu and he was practically turning green." And this quote came from Alice. Alice says, quote, "We did a show with Led Zeppelin at the Whisky A Go-Go, which holds maybe 300 people, and nobody had heard of either one of us. We were just local bands as far as LA went. It was really a fun night. They all had the flu though, so everyone was throwing up backstage. But the fact that Jimmy Page was in the Yardbirds was a big deal for us, and I just met Robert Plant and these guys. They were great. We really got along, but we had to flip a coin to see who was going to go on first. Nobody had any say over it because we were both unheard of, so we kind of said, no, we'll open for you guys because Jimmy Page was in the Yardbirds." Unquote. Very gracious of you, Alice. All right, so the set list for this show, man, is as follows. As Long as I Have You, including the Fresh Garbage Shake, I Can't Quit You Baby, Train Kept a Rolling, Babe I'm Gonna Leave You, Dazed and Confused, Killing Floor, and For Your Love. All right, without further ado, let's hit this shit up, man. And it's 52 minutes and 10 seconds long. We're going all the way through it. Then we'll have a point break and then the review. So 2 videos in total. Fingers crossed with me, it's going to go up on YouTube. All right, Led Zeppelin, Whisky A Go-Go, LA, January 5th, 69. Let's get it. Thunder right away. Toaster sparkle.
1, 2, 1. Ricardo. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you can hear me. Yeah, okay. We're going to finish off, or shall we say, this is the last night from Led Zeppelin. So here we go.
This guy's ridiculous. I wonder what the crowd is thinking. They're comparing Bonham to Keith Moon. If I was sitting there, that's what I would be doing. And then there's Urban Plan.
Oh, was gonna bring mockingbird, mockingbird. And if that mockingbird don't sing, I'm gonna buy you a diamond ring. On my way out of New Orleans. Everything was gonna be so fine. As long as I have you.
Damn, man.
Thank you very much.
There's somebody out there
Led Zeppelin. That was a thing.
who was
What is
at
wrong
this
with that
concert.
review?
Let me know who you are. So I
We're
can't
gonna
let you
carry
back.
on with the thing for this rush. See if we can get this going. It's called I Can't Quit You, Babe. I can't quit you, baby. Woman, I can put you down for I can't quit you, baby.
That's some serious thunder. I'm trying to think of who might have been as thunderous and who was rocking as hard back then. Give me a list of who was rocking
Let's see.
as hard as these guys in '69.
We want to get everybody sort of rocking and rolling and things like that. So we do a thing from Johnny Bennett. It's called The Train.
Everyone's familiar with that song in this crowd, so to hear this thunderous version must have been something. Babe, I'm gonna leave you.
Try a thing. This is called Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You. Traditional. I think that's a word. You can hear this on the fantastic album that comes out on the 15th on Atlantic. We won't give you any names at all. So Hermits.
Led Zeppelin 1 came out on the 15th. So this was 10 days before that.
know. Woman, I want you to know that I love you so. And I'm gonna let you go. No, no, no. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
It's amazing how he can just switch up the lyrics, just switch one out for another. Probably does most of this on the fly.
Something like I love you. Woman, I wanna know that you really, really care the way I did for you. But I got two women of my own and that's too much for me. Meanwhile, I got to go.
Fantastic. Thunder. Whisper and thunder.
Yeah, on this album that we weren't going to mention, the title of, which is by us, there's a number that we wrote called Dazed and Confused. We thought we'd play this. Dazed and Confused.
this point in the song, where whatever I'm doing, I'd be like, everybody shut the hell up. Let me listen to this. All eyes have got to be on it right now, man.
Something's coming on strong! That's it. What is John Bonham on? Days are confused,
I wish they would include the line, "You make me feel like a mouse when you act like a cat." That's what I remember when I was a kid.
Thank you. Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and Confused. My favorite Zeppelin song performed live. I will never tire of it.
I tell you what, if anybody was here last night, is there anybody here from last night? Yeah. Well, you know we were saying how well we got over the flu. Does anybody remember that sort of meager comment in between the, well, we've all got it back again. So we're really pleased to be here. Yeah?
It's because you guys haven't had
How are we
a
going to
chance
carry
to
on now,
rest.
as they say? It's a thing from Muddy Waters.
They've all got the flu. You shouldn't be standing up.
That's a lie. See, we're all so, we got it together anyway. We do, Howling Wolf, sorry, not Muddy Waters. All that same label. This is a thing
Killing
called
Floor.
Killing Floor. I think that's about sums it up.
Fantastic. These old passages from these songs that didn't even make the actual cut.
This is going back before Christmas.
These guys
With a little more
memorized.
treble. A little more, yeah. A long time ago we had a rehearsal and we learnt this thing that Keith Relf. Do you remember Keith Relf? Hey, too much! Whoa!
Rest in peace, brother man.
Well,
Keith
we got
Relf.
nothing to do with him. Except that Jimmy Bennett himself, so we put it like that. No, Jimmy ain't got nothing to do with him either. Anyway, we heard a song that was written by the bloke who writes all the things for Dave D. Dozy, Beaky, Mick and Titch. Yeah, Dave D! Yeah! Dave D! Dozy, Beaky, Mick and Titch. And this is what it was, and this is how it's turned out. This was a #1 seller for the Yardbirds.
When did Keith die? Was it 73 or 74? I remember now, it was a slower version. This is the John Bonham show now.
for your love. Remember,
A thunderous rendition of it.
there's nothing more I can say except for we're going to have to retire back to bedrooms and things again now. So good night. God bless. See you again. Don't forget the album. Good night from Led Zeppelin.
Oh yeah, man. I'd be anticipating the release of that album. 10 days away. It's great, man. These guys are so committed. Flu or no flu, they're going on. Puking backstage, really? Holy. They must have been so lightheaded, feeling faint and all that. Somebody striking up the organ for the next act. Is that what I'm hearing? I wonder if Alice Cooper followed behind this show. This was the final show, and I know they were taking turns opening for each other.
Tell Robert to take care.
I would hate to follow after these guys. Okay. I'm not sure what that was. It sounded cool though. So, there we have it, y'all. Led Zeppelin at the Whisky A Go-Go, the launching pad for so many fantastic artists, man. What a legendary venue, you know what I'm saying? And when we come back after this break, let's do a little bit of a review, man, and let's highlight and feature the Whisky A Go-Go, one of those elemental things that helped to launch the careers of so many fantastic household names. We got to give it a spotlight. See you in a bit. Okay, everybody, let's do a review here, man. Great concert, really excellent sound. I loved early Led Zeppelin when they were just busting out of the gates and they were raw, they were fresh. These guys hadn't even, I don't know if they were even familiar with the name Led Zeppelin, but they probably hadn't heard them collectively together yet. Of course, they've heard of Jimmy Page, the Yardbirds and whatnot, and a lot of them probably came out just to anticipate seeing what Jimmy Page did with this new Yardbird / Led Zeppelin and the signature sound, how it would change up. And I'm sure that quite a few people really had a holy cow moment, you know? I certainly would have. So I asked you guys a question. In '69, who, aside from Led Zeppelin, was rocking so hard and thunderous? Can you think of anyone? I'm thinking of Cream, of course, and Hendrix, but I mean thunderous, powerful riffs and jams. Who else in your mind in '69 was as thunderous as Led Zeppelin, rocking as hard as they were, especially in a show like this, a venue like this? You know, if I'm used to seeing the likes of Johnny Rivers and people like that at the Whisky A Go-Go, then all of a sudden you've got a Led Zeppelin just hitting you in the face real hard with this sort of sound. It must have been a shock to the system. If any of you was there back in the day, let me know who you are. Let me know what it was all about. Had you heard of Led Zeppelin before that? Of course, you've probably heard of Jimmy Page and the Yardbirds before that, but did you go into it thinking that it was going to be reminiscent of the Yardbird sound, or were you expecting, or did you know ahead of time that it was going to be something more in your face and bolder and more thunderous like this? Let me know about that. Give me the details. All right, y'all. So let's do a review, man. First, I want to feature this great venue known as the Whisky A Go-Go, man. The Whisky A Go-Go, informally nicknamed the Whisky, is a nightclub in West Hollywood, California. It's located at 8901 Sunset Boulevard in the Sunset Strip. The club has been the launching pad for bands including Stooges, Alice Cooper, The Doors, Golden Earring, No Doubt, System of a Down, The Byrds, The Flying Burrito Brothers, Chicago, Germs, Buffalo Springfield. Oh man. Let's just say it's been a launching pad for a whole bunch of people. Damn, man. Steppenwolf, Van Halen, Led Zeppelin, Johnny Rivers, Kiss, Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, Motley Crue. Crazy. History. In '58, the first Whisky A Go-Go in the US opened in Chicago on the corner of Rush and Chestnut Street. It's been called the first real American discotheque. A franchise was opened in '66 on M Street in the Georgetown section of Washington, D.C. by restaurateur Jacques Vivian. It owes its name to the first discotheque, the Whisky A Go-Go, a go-go meaning, in French, in abundance galore. Established in Paris in '47 by Paul Pacini, which itself took the name from the British novel Whisky Galore. The Sunset Strip Whisky opened on January 16, '64. Lou Adler bought into the Whisky in the late '70s. Although the club was billed as a discotheque, suggesting that it offered only recorded music, the Whisky A Go-Go opened with a live band led by Johnny Rivers and DJ Ron Delane, spinning records between sets from a suspended cage at the right of the stage. I remember doing a Johnny Rivers reaction. He was on Dick Clark and he was performing, oh man, it was in black and white. I forgot the name of the song. He's singing about his daughter. I can't remember the name of the song. And he was talking about how the Whisky A Go-Go really launched him. You know, it was an unusual way of launching your career, but it really worked for him. The Whisky A Go-Go was one of the places that popularized go-go dancing. Elmer Valentine, in a 2006 Vanity Fair article, recalled arranging to have a female DJ play records between Rivers' sets so patrons could continue dancing. But because there was not enough room on the floor for a DJ booth, he had a glass walled booth mounted high above the floor. A contest was held for the female DJ job, but when the young winner called Valentine on the night of the opening and tearfully said her mother forbade her from doing it, Valentine recruited the club's cigarette girl, Patty Brockhurst. Valentine quickly hired 2 more female dancers, one of whom, Joanna Levine, designed the official Go-Go Girl costume of fringed dress and white boots. That was the beginning of an era in itself, wasn't it? Go-Go dancers. Rivers rode the whiskey-born go-go craze to national fame with records recorded partly live at the Whisky. In addition, the Miracles recorded the song Going to a Go-Go in '66, which was then covered by the Stones in '82. And Whisky A Go-Go franchises sprang up all over the country. Arguably, the rock and roll scene in LA was born when the Whisky started operation, because of its status as a historic music landmark. The venue was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2006. Rightly so. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So that concludes our look, man, at this great venue known as the Whisky A Go-Go. Much thanks to it, because so many bands, like I mentioned, and that I didn't mention, came through their doors and kind of got launched. I think probably the biggest launch of that would have been Johnny Rivers, maybe, or the Doors, because I know that the Doors, they were the house band. I can't remember for how long, but I know that they were the house band, so I think those two acts probably got the most out of the Whiskey A Go Go. If there's more, let me know. Yeah, man, so great concert, really good sound. They are just jamming, they are in the zone, and there's so much you can say about Led Zeppelin. It's the early period of Led Zeppelin where it comes to the sound, where it comes to the rawness, where it comes to the thunder, that I probably favor the most. Still to this day, my favorite live Led Zeppelin concert is the Fillmore West in '69. That, man, I tell you, is raw as hell, and I love their rendition of what was the song called? Sorry. As Long As I Have You. Man, power personified. And so that is my favorite time period of Led Zeppelin. What's yours? I did a Beatles reaction the other day, and I was asking the same question. What's your favorite time period? The early stage, the mid stage, the latter stage. Same with Led Zeppelin. For me, it's their early stage. Their mid stage would have been around, I guess, 73-ish. Song Remains, the same time period. And then their latter stage would have been around 79-ish, 78, 79-ish, in and around Presence and In Through the Outdoor. So let me know what your favorite time period of Led Zeppelin is and why. You know what my favorite time period is, you know why, There's a lot I can say about it in the form of their signature sound. I'll say a little bit more later, but you know what? Let's do a quick little read here. I'm at the YouTube page here. This is Led Zeppelin Boots page, where this concert is on. And 594 thumbs up, only 4 thumbs down. To hell with you fools. So, let's read a couple of these comments, man. Led Zeppelin's early shows were the musical equivalent of a nuclear bomb. Reply: very true. They were braver to experiment, and that was just magnificent. Absolutely, I definitely believe it. Having the guts to go forward and to, go along a path that hasn't really been paved for them, and take a chance, and Page had a lot of pressure on him. He had to deliver where it comes to matching the success and the status and all that of the Yardbird years, and then also establishing their own signature sound. He could have fallen so flat on his face, you know what I mean? And especially with his former band members leaving and going on their own, and going into the different direction of folk rock, and they were successful. He had to be successful. There was so much pressure on the guy, and so props to him for having the grapefruits to go forward. Now, if only someone were to happen upon a recording, if one even exists, of the show from later that summer, where they do an encore with a Jeff Beck group, where Robert and Rod share vocals and Jimmy and Jeff share lead. Damn, that would be the shit, man. If you guys know of such a recording, if it was recorded, that'd be cool. Let us know about it. I'll do a reaction. Bonham sounds like 1,000 cannons going off on this recording. Imagine seeing these guys in their primal days. Couldn't imagine. And all of those folks sitting around, especially when Jimmy pulled that bow out and he started to do that crazy shit in Dazed and Confused. I don't care who is with me, I'd be telling them to shut the hell up right about now, because I am checking this out and I don't want any interruptions. I'm sure he probably had that effect on quite a few people there. The sound quality in this is crazy considering it's early '69. Boots does it again. Yeah, good on you, brother. Bonham gave their music the power it needed. Even without his 26-inch kick, he still sounded huge. Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to mention. Early Led Zeppelin, they get together. they realize that they've got this incredible signature sound. The four of them collectively create something so great. What are we going to do with this great signature sound? Where are we going to go with it? Each individual member is saying to himself, wow, well, here I am in a band where I'm allowed to go as far as I want to go without restriction. Being a John Bonham, for example, he can be as thunderous as he wants to. Jimmy Page can go off doing whatever the hell he wants to with his creativity. And of course, Plant with his crazy vocals, it was just such a fitting platform for all four of them to do whatever the hell they wanted. That is a fantastic blessing to any musician, I'm sure. And the power that they had was, that was definitely a blessing in the form of this signature sound will allow us to go where we want to go, kick in the doors, we can blaze our own trail, we can say to hell with you, Rolling Stone, we don't need you to help to establish us. This signature sound that we have collectively will allow us to do whatever we want, and we cannot be denied. We are that damn good. They knew this shit about themselves. And they also, in a way, were saying, make room. All of you right now, you're great, you're fantastic, but make room because we're coming through. This is a piece of our pie. And for a while, because we're so damn good, we're probably going to make you forget about the Beatles for a while. We're probably going to make you forget about The Who for a while. We're probably going to make you forget about the Rolling Stones for a while. Yeah, we're that damn good. Make room. Pay attention, because we're about to take this shit. It's ours for a while. And look at what happened. The most influential in the 70s as much as the Beatles were in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? They knew this shit about themselves. Even at that young age. How old were they here? 20? This is so cool. I'm a huge sucker for 69 Zepp. Incredible. So thankful for this. I've been waiting for the long I get to hear another concert from this era. I think they meant to say for so long. And the fact this is the second recorded show of theirs. Thank you, Boots, for posting this. Didn't know it existed until now. Yeah, and great that these guys had, even though that they were sick and all that stuff, they had that drive to still perform and to still be great, still be recognized. And you know what? The Whisky A Go-Go, at that time, such a great launching pad, they couldn't afford to pass on it, you know? Unless they're dying in their beds, I think that they would have definitely done the show. Another one to save to my live Zeppelin playlist. I think I have over 200 shows saved now, thanks to you, Boots. Wow. I gotta take a really, really good look at this guy's channel. Holy shit, where did you find this gem? Way to go, Boots. Couple of thumbs up and peace signs. The first Zeppelin album wasn't even released for another 7 days when this show took place. I believe it's 10 days because the album was released on the 15th. Yeah, and they performed on the 5th. Wow. Yeah, you know, yeah, let's stop here because what I'm seeing here is pretty much the same thing. Hey, this was great, this was excellent, this was fantastic. I thought I was going to come across some naysayer thumbs down person, but no, it looks pretty good. Everybody is liking this. So, man, back to Finesse. Finesse, thanks again. I appreciate the recommendation, man. I appreciate you sending me this link. And I really appreciate listening to early Led Zeppelin, my favorite time period, when they were raw, when they were unfiltered, when they were actually doing a lot of overlap with Yardbird stuff, singing other things like Blueberry Hill and just infusing different elements. I can understand with their unique signature sound why they couldn't really jam with a lot of other people, why they couldn't really include a lot of other people with their signature sound and their jamming and their performing. But I'm excited to see how they kind of jammed with Rod Stewart and Jeff Beck. That would have been a fantastic show. All right, y'all. So I'm just scrolling down here and checking out my my notes, man. So where Led Zeppelin is concerned, I'm gonna do Physical Graffiti, a full album reaction to that, and that'll conclude my full album reactions for Led Zeppelin. And going forward with the Led Zeppelin train, it'll be more live stuff like this, whatever documentaries there might be, some of their solo works and other things like that on the outskirts of not doing album reactions. So there's a lot still to come. So I got also reactions I got to get to. Charles, Brian, Antoine, Ford, Miggy, got reactions coming up this week for you guys as well. All right, yo, I'm gonna bounce. So have a good one. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in my next Zeppelin reaction. Peace out.